dog, one child, one youth, one dog, you think big, you. Together we can do this in our continent, you. Think big, you. I say one dog, one child, one youth, one dog, you. Think big, you. Together we can do this in our continent, you. Think big, you.
It was not too long ago I mentioned to the global community of Tiashans, giving them a scenario. If TAC was at, 50,000, you have 20 coins. 20 coins, that's $1 million. I also mentioned if you had 200 TAC at 50,000, that's 10 million. If you have 1,000 times 50, that's 50 million. If you have 20,000 TAC at 50,000, we are talking about 1 billion. Now, the Tiashan community, a lot of you, a good size of the community, have at least 20,000 TAC. TAC is money. For those of you who are still looking and running around the place, TAC is money. You must also, and I am going someplace with this because I am going to show you why TAC was introduced. TAC is not an accident. When you look at the debt that your country or your region owe to China, what will happen to us? Because a lot of us are playing the fool. And we are playing the fool because we have no vision. We do not know. Those who have vision, what they're planning for us, we do not know it because we ourselves don't have any. And every time we show up to the table as leaders, the Afro-Caribbean leaders, every time we show up to the table to negotiate for our people, for our country, we always show up on an empty stomach. Can you negotiate on an empty stomach? You cannot. You will always give even more than what you're asked to give. And so that is how the Afro-Caribbean countries are governing. They are governing in desperation. And we, the citizens, are living also in desperations. If Mr. Abundance do not know what he's saying, please correct me in the forum. Say, Abundance, I beg to differ because we are prosperous over here. We are loan free over here. Our children have all the education and the health facilities that any one of us, our children, can enter. You must say to Mr. Abundance, what you're saying, you do not know. But if what I am saying is the fact, you need to detoxify what you have learned. It was Jim Rohn that says that we are who and where we are in life because of what have entered our minds. In other words, what society have given to us, what we have learned in school, in colleges and universities, in the churches, that shapes who we are today. Because you cannot give me what you do not have. It is impossible for you to give me something that you do not possess. And so abundance is going somewhere. Now, if we have 100,000 Tiashans around the globe holding 20,000 TAC at 50,000 per TAC or 100,000 per TAC. What can't we not change in our communities, in our country, in our region, on our continent? It impressed upon me this morning that if we, the Tiashan community, do not rise and take our rightful position in the economic fears, this is not discrimination anymore. This is not a fight to sit around the table to be recognized or to be taught or to get proper health care. This one transcends all. It's not a fight to ride in first class or a fight to live in this neighborhood. We have conquered all that. This is the final showdown. This is the final showdown. That of economic freedom for a people that have enslaved for over 400 years. And this is the promise. It is a promise given to the infinite, of which he promised unto Abraham, that your seed shall be blessed, and they shall have rest in a land of promise, or the promised land. That is why Canaan is called the promised land. That is why the infinite, at many intervals, wanted to destroy the very people he called his own. He wanted to destroy them at many intervals. But he remembered his promise to Abraham that your seed shall be like the stars of the skies. You think we're any different in the Tiashan community? And for those of you who are knowledgeable of the episode and the promise to the children of Israel and the direction that the Infinite gave to Moses and the journey that they took, I want the Tiashan to understand something which is very fundamental to our struggles. Even though the Infinite promised you a land of promise, you still have to fight for it. You still have to fight for your economic freedom. He promised you that. Above all things, he says, I wish that you become as your soul prospereth, so should you in economic fears. A call just came in. And so, even though he promised you something, you need to fight for it. And that is what TAC is fighting for, our economic freedom. Because that is the ultimate battle that we need to win. And that is why I say to the global community that our mission in TAC transcend and have a greater importance than all of the heroes and our leaders, visionaries, all combined. Because this is not a state affair, a providential affair, a country or a continent affair. This is a global affair. And so, what is going to happen if we in the Tiashan community are not mindful And I will ask you the question, how many debt do your country own to China? And I want you to do me an exercise, Tiashans. Go and ask your finance minister, or you can Google it online. And each of you in the forum from different countries, tell me how much is your debt to China. One thing I know, that the Caribbean has over 10 billion holding for China. And the African countries have over 700 billion holding for China. So I want, and to add to this madness, you have Zambia and Ghana that have defaulted on China's loan. The global community of Tiashans, you are being a penny wise and a pound foolish. And I'm speaking especially to the leaders, because based on your responsibility and your knowledge, you will be held at a higher level of your responsibility to humanity. Most of you as leaders, you have failed your country, you have failed your community, you have failed your families. And why we have failed is because we fail to recognize and to understand the mission and the vision. We fail to understand, and so we run after every shiny objects, every instant gratification. Yes, it is good that you can spread your wings. I have no issues with that one. You have no issues in putting your eggs in several baskets. Have nothing against that. But your primary focus should always be that of tax mission. Get into whatever you want to get in. But some of you, you're in tax, but you are labeled tax as one that is not going anywhere. You're labeled one stack that you don't see where we're going. The children of Israel had the same problem when they were being led. They could not see where they were going. All what they saw is mountains on both sides, and the Red Sea is in front. Then and therefore, they are being led to their own death trap. That is what they were thinking. That is what they saw. They only saw obstacles. We are no different in tax. Oh, the government is not saying anything. The news is not saying anything. Warren Buffett and Zuckerberg and Elon Musk is not talking about tax. And so we go to sleep. Tiashans, you will wake up one day with China, your new slave master. You will wake up one day and you will rise to a new slave master called China. Because that is where we're heading now. Based on our appetite for Chinese money, our children will pay the price for our inability to unite and to fight, our inability to unite and to fight behind of a vision, to fight behind of a mission. It was given to you. A lot of you believe that this mission is just like any other activities, any other opportunity. And so you are treating it like all the other opportunities that you have entered and left. You are not treating tax with any high regard because you do not see it that way. You do not see yourself as a game changer as a ladder builder, as a generational changes. You're not seeing that. You're only seeing now. And that is how you're operating. And so some of you are intact. You don't even mention it. And those who even don't know, when they mention it to you, you defer them to other programs. That is it. And then you come back into the forum with bitterness. There's nothing new under the sun. That is why only 20% of the children of Israel entered into wealth. But all of them had the opportunity to enter. And so I am saying to the Tiashan this morning, let us be wise. Let us not be a penny wise and a pound foolish, but let us be a pound wise and a penny foolish. This is Chief Abundance. Good morning.